Somehow we need to try and get all this strong again, back to serviceable condition. Right, let's start taking it apart. So we are currently in the aft end of the boat, which is quite exciting. I've been wanting to work down here for a long time, but it's like starting over again, like when we first started on the bow, but we know a bit more now, don't we? So it shouldn't take quite as long, I don't think. So this here is the original height of the hull. There used to be a deck here. This sole was a bit lower, but then there was like a coach roof here. So in the 80s they built up all of this side. So they did it okay-ish. It survived 40 years, hasn't it? So the original web frames here, they basically put a scarf in it to then extend the height of the hull. I think we're going to be replacing these. We're going to be putting a scarf somewhere, I don't know, wherever necessary. But also the frame behind the plywood screws onto, that is just butts here, if that makes sense. So I would like to make that more part of the hull and then send that up, because we've got to replace it anyway, so we may as well send it high. But it means taking quite a bit out to put new in, but that's what we've got to do. Alright, let's start digging away at these, and then we'll see about getting some new frames in. Obviously the plywood will be changed at a later date. We can't really take it all out, which would be brilliant if we could take all that out now, but then it'd mean leaving a massive hole in the boat and it'd be a nightmare, so we'll have to work around that, I'm afraid. So I think we'll start by removing this knee here, but it's got these like square bolts on it, which they're basically a 40mm spanner, 7/16 maybe, an Imperial. Nice if we had a socket. Might have a look for the, what they're called, square sockets maybe. See about a set of them, sure come handy on the boat. One down. Turns out the ones into good material come out okay. Right, so we've got a frame out now. That's the frame behind the web frame. Unfortunately, we had to go down there. I have to go down quite low sometimes to get rid of all the rot. So I'm going to get the grinder out now. I'll give all this a clean up, and then we'll see how far up the frame's going to go. News to me as well. So I think before we put any wood down there, we need to get a bit of a paint, don't we? Right, let's get the grey out. You might think my brush is a bit excessive, but I've got a few of these because we don't really use them this size for the epoxy, so just about fits in the can. Oh yes. Right, the paint's gone off enough now. And what we need to do now is open up the deck so we can slip our new piece in. The weather's not the best today, it's howling. But hey, got to carry on. It's not raining, so that's good. Right, so earlier on I drilled some holes up underneath from where the new frame's got to go down as such. I've just come and had a look at this. So the whole side's basically hanging off. We need to make it safe really. So I think what I'm going to do is is I'm going to cut the very top off all the way along here. That'll make it safe. That'll reveal some big holes that we can get the future ones down, and then I'll make a piece of ply that goes over the top and that ties it all together. So right, so we've got a nice access hole now. So what I'm going to do is go and cut the first pieces that we're going to put in, and we're going to laminate them. And hopefully we can get this in today. That'll be pretty cool. It's always hard working on this. It's a new sort of style of build down here as such. Because the original beam shelf, the lower beam shelf, sits on these blocks here, and then the web frame's gone on the outside. But if you look here, the web frames are actually slightly skinnier and land here instead of being on the outside of the beam shelf. So it's a slightly different change, so I'm having to sort of get my head around how to do this. So anyway, right, I'll go and cut the pieces and then we'll fit them. Okay, so I've cut the frame now, put the scarf on it. So this is actually in 3 pieces. So it's in 3 pieces to assist the curve. It's dead straight at the top, but then it just does a big curve at the bottom. Right, let's get this glued up. First we'll give it a quick sand because it's a bit mucky. We'll mix up some of the old West system. We put lots and lots and lots of glue on it. I think we need a blowtorch. By heating the epoxy, it makes it so thin because it's like water and it proper soaks in. So we're getting one of Gemma's 3D printed notched trowels, which I think is pretty cool. Right, let's go and put this into the boat. Right, here goes. Let's go see if we're on target downstairs. So it's not bad. Little tweak. I'm wondering if I put the clamp there, it'll keep them on target. Right, I'm going to go upstairs, I'm going to knock it down. What I might do is get one of my security cameras actually and put it here, then I can see it visually off my phone. But we'll knock it down a bit and then we'll see how we get on. Right, so I've set up one of our security cameras now, looking at the scarf. We can see it here, so we can take this upstairs. Okay, so we're now looking at the scarf from down below. So I can now hit it from up here. Let's say another at least 50mm. So it looks like we're about 20 mil off there. Right, let's go and see. Right, so we're down. We just need to come that way a little bit, don't we? Give it a quick scrape off. Right, so I'll just whack a fixing in that now, and then we need to level the top. Make sure they're all in line, but I think that actually worked quite well. Okay, that's got in quite nice that now. Looks a bit odd to the window, but the window is parallel with the upper beam shelf. So then that makes it a bit wonky to the frames. But that's just the way it is. Right, I need to get all this ooze off the side now. Right, so my glue's gone off on this one now. Another day, another haircut. Right, so what we need to do now is, if you look along here, there's one sneaky plank that has decided to give up on us. So this plank here is a bit poorly. So I think we need to focus on that. But to do that, we need to take all these frames out. Frames need changing anyway, so let's get on it. Let's get to chopping all these. I'm making a right mess. Right, I think we'll cut some nails off.
So while Simon's in the aft end of the boat being destructful, I'm going to get as much prepped in the engine room as I can for when the time comes to put the beam shelf in. So I've got all our planks to sand back. And I'm also going to make all of the packers that go all the way down the engine room. So then when the time comes to put the jigsaw puzzle back together, we've got all the parts ready. Because we've only got the packers done to here. So I've literally got to do all down there.
We've got a noisy neighbour. The Gemma's in the engine room, sanding away. So yeah, noisy neighbour, never mind. Right, let's cut these nails off.
I'm not finding this fun, where you working at the back and me working at the front.
Yeah.
Because I can't find any tools. We've got stuff here, we've got stuff there, we've got stuff there, and my legs are killing because I'm up them stairs, down them stairs, up them stairs. I'm looking for the blower now. I can't find the blower.
I'm not the sort of person to have one. Oh, I am actually. Hang on. I remember using it now.
So that's the struggle that we're having at the minute, is trying to find anything.
I was put onus on myself now, I have to say I had it last.
Don't worry, I'll keep looking. All my planks are sanded up, painted. Not painted. Sanded up, cleaned. Now I'm painting them. Got a very noisy neighbour today. All done.
You spying on me?
Just making sure you're working.
Like a peeping Tom.
That's what them holes are for.
Hang on, I'll try that hole.
I think it's a bit too high for you, love.
A bit too deep as well. Okay, so I've ground all the rows off the small nails now, and I'm just starting to knock them out. And then hopefully that'll allow us to get this plank out. And this string is very, very poorly as well, so I wasn't going to cut it out, I was going to sister it, but it might be beneficial to cut it out, but we'll have a think about that later. Give me back. Keep bending me tip. Yeah. Oh, I think that might have been the last one. Apart from the ones that are going to stop us in a minute. Yeah, that one there. Right, so there's one inner plank off. I'm going to change this one as well because it's a bit scabby there. Didn't really want to change it, but we're here now, aren't we? We've seen it, so I'm going to whiz that out. Yes! So we basically just changed this because of this bit of rot here. Then you look on the other side of it, it's fine. Strange, isn't it? We didn't break it either. I was half expecting by putting a bit of stress under it it's going to snap, but... Right, now that's all sanded, let's go and make the planks. Go firewood.
I'm nearly there on my packers.
Pieces are ready. Got it now, let's put some glue in it. Put it in, wedge it up. Put some screws from the outside. I think Gemma's coming down to do something. What are you gonna do?
You're such a messy worker, dear.
She's always complaining, isn't she? What do you want me to do with it?
Well,
Don't make mess.
I'll have a little tidy up then, eh? I'm really surprised at like how good the tops of the planks are.
Because I think with this, will be like a sacrificial moisture absorber on it, the plywood on the side. So
it's like new, innit?
like a brand new old boat.
Brand new 80-year-old wood.
Yeah. Right, so got a good tidy up.
Hey, actually, we're not far off being 81.
81.
Yeah.
Sugar.
20th of December is a birthday.
Okay. Let's do something, won't we? Celebrate.
So what's the plan now?
Put this in. So I was trying to do before until you come in and interfered with you tidying up.
I interfered to walk on the floor. Don't mind you breaking your ankle on a piece of rotten wood, do you?
Suppose it ain't got notched.
You want notched?
Well, no, I think notched is better. First one in. So.
Oh, those And they said you couldn't repair a double diagonal boat from the inside.
Did they? Who said that?
I don't know, someone did, back in the beginning. You have to take half the side off to repair the plank.
That, yeah. So what's going to break out first, the stringer or the
So what I'm trying to do is wedge it back to then push the plank, because obviously it bows a little bit for the shape of the boat. So we're trying to wedge it into position before we go outside and screw it up.
a wedge now?
I think your stringer moved more than your plank.
No. Right, well, let's put a slight lead on that.
Probably not the bits used to do that, really. Well, I'll tell you this, your plank's not moving in. So we're really struggling to like get these planks to look even and like sit flush with all the others. And I just randomly picked up the old plank that we removed. Said to Si, the new plank material is definitely the same thickness, isn't it, dear? And the old plank thickness is
13 mil.
13 mil. And what's the thickness of the new stuff that you're putting in?
That should be 15.
And of course it's going to stick out. Oh. Is that 15?
No, that's 17. Where's the 17 come from?
We've not used 17 for anything. So we've now picked up 17 mil planking, which is a size we've never even used, so I don't know why it's on the boat. And fitted 17 mil planking. And now, so we're like, why isn't it going back? Why isn't it all smooth? It's because it's too big, dear. Nah. But the good news is, your wood's too big and not too small. So we can leave that in and we can sand it back to what it should be.
We can blend it, can't we?
So it's always a bonus when your wood's too big.
Yeah.
There you go, 2 new planks.
Right, so while we're waiting for all this glue to go off, so we can then sand it all back and then we can progress with the frames. Another thing we've ordered and we've got now, which is really cool, is the through holes. So one there, and one there, and about 5 more throughout the boat. But the only problem I've had in the past with them is actually tightening the nut up from the inside, because you need a big deep socket, which I haven't got. I had a quick Google the other day and I couldn't find anything without spending 100 quid on a socket. So I think what we should do is go to the workshop and we'll make a spanner or something like that so we can access it. What do you think? So it's to basically get these nuts off here. So let's go to the workshop. Oh, as well, I want to make a tool, because we said about the rudders were stuck, didn't we? So I want to make a tool. When I've got the welder out, I want to make a tool so we can manipulate the rudder. Well, I'll show you. So the rudders are basically stuck in this bronze thingamabob here. So I was thinking, like, if we take these link bars off the top here, and if I make a tool which can then go over the top of them, and then we can manipulate it from in here, we know how much load we're putting on it, and we can see if we're moving it, rather than trying to turn the wheel upstairs, which is hard to communicate it back into upstairs. So yeah, let's make one of them as well. Right then, we made it to the workshop. So as I said, we've got all the skin fittings now to go on the boat. So we can put a new skin fitting in. We're having a ball valve, ball valve, whatever they're called. Ball, don't know. Anyway, we need to be able to fit these. All we need to do is make a spanner, but instead of operating the spanner from the side, you operate it from the top, if that makes sense. So right, so it's going to go like that around the nut. So we need to weld it up there and weld it up there. But what I think we should do is make a block of wood that goes in between and clamp these up, keep them parallel at the right dimension. So for this we'll use the MIG welder. It's basically a metal glue gun, isn't it? Right, we'll give that a minute to cool. Right, it's cooled down now. Oh, that's for a fit. It's a good fit, that. Right, so what we need now is a handle coming off here so we can drive it. Let's go look in the scrap to see if we can find something to stick out there. Right, I think this will do. Nice handle off that. Right, so I've made 2 of them now. Cool as that. So here's the smaller of the 2. So that's basically, I can turn that nut now. And I can even turn it with the valve on as well, as in like the main valve body. Because obviously there's absolutely 0 chance of this ever leaking here. But so yeah, we can basically do it with it on. And then stay in close proximity to the frames and stuff. Not bad. I'm sure it's got a special name, some sort of long spanner, I don't know, you know what I mean. But I couldn't find any, so who made them. Right, let's move on to the rudder tool I was on about. So we need to make a big tool. I'll do a quick drawing and show you. So I've done a quick drawing here. So we've got a big long bar, which is going to be this. Then we're going to have some tubes which come down, which then straddle over the rudder gear, and then will allow us to pivot. So they need to be 60mm with an internal diameter of 36mm. Problem is, I can't find any tube. So we basically need some like scaffold tube type thing. Well, I can find it, but it's in a bit of a weird place. I'll show you. So this is my definite to go to the scrap pile. But can you remember this thing here? Our spider cleats. That was a temporary thing we made. Wanted it to go on the foredeck, but now we've got proper cleats, which is cool. Right, so I've spotted a nice piece of tube there. So if we try and cut this off, don't really want to have to move all this, but it's kind of scary how powerful these little things are. They can just cut through that in minutes. Right, so I've cut them down to 60 on the bandsaw, and I'll put one in the lathe now. So we're just going to true up one of the edges, so when we clamp it up and weld up it stays pretty flush, maybe. Right, they're on there quite good now. It's not really the best welding, but for the job it's doing doesn't really matter. So another fort, hang on, I'll show you. So when this goes on top of the rudder, I'm pulling, it could technically do like a twisting motion, do you think? Maybe? But I think if we cut it and then overlap it so it's like more in line with where you're putting a load on it, then we won't get a twisting motion, will we? Right, so let's cut this in half, then we'll weld it onto the bottom. There's another special tool. Special tools today, isn't it? Right, so you probably won't be using this for a while. Yeah, it's a definite rainy day, high water job. So to move the rudders, they're basically in the mud most of the time, aren't they? So when it's high water, we'll take the hydraulics off, take the big link bar off, and try and like give it a turn. See if we can get them moving, because it's hard to know which one's seized up, or if they're both seized up or not. As I say, I've not really been wanting to put it under any stress without me actually feeling how much torque we're putting on it, but with this tool, hopefully that'll work. So the through holes, maybe do them next time, don't they? We've got quite a lot of water, I think. But I think that's about it for this episode. Bit different, working on the aft cabin, or well, we're working on the aft end now, so starting to make progress. Not sure how long it's going to take us, but it takes as long as it takes, doesn't it? So thanks for watching, thanks for everyone who helps out. See you next time.